Limited, Corey Ballantyne, Edgerrin Cooper, Glover, McDuffie, Musgrave, Williams, did not practice, Bullard.
Are Rome and Evan Williams still in the protocol? Or
Yes.
This is not a football question about Rome, but he's been out for a couple of weeks now. Is he okay?
Yeah, he practiced in full today, so I think we're making progress, but he's still in the protocol.
I'm sorry, Matt, did you not say Jair's name there, right?
No, I did not. He was full today.
How encouraging, hopeful, what did
Well, I got
you?
to go back and watch the tape, but from, when I was watching him, he looked like he was moving around well, and we'll just see how it transpires throughout the course of the week, and, hopefully he'll be ready to roll.
Is this the timeline you were thinking you might get Luke back practicing? Is it faster, slower?
Yeah, this is exactly where we thought we'd be. So he's done a nice job, with the rehab, and we'll see where he is, as we move forward, whether or not how quickly he can get back. Obviously, he's going to get integrated back. And today he was limited, so we'll just see where he's at.
At the time that he went down, were you concerned that you might not get this opportunity with him?
This has kind of been the target date all along, and we're on target.
So how do you get a guy like that ramped up? Obviously, I would think you probably got to ease it with him just because of the length of the layoff, don't you?
I would say so, yeah. So you just take it one day at a time and add a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and we'll see where we're at.
So what
You've been
about
where Mike McDonald is a first-time head coach, first-year head coach having success. What impresses you the most about how the Seahawks look?
Just how much improvement they've made throughout the course of the season. I think in every phase, it definitely shows up on tape. I think they're playing really good football right now, winners of 4 straight. And so I think there's obviously a bunch of new people in that building. There's a learning curve to it, and those guys have adjusted well, and they've continued to get better all along the way.
is that an aggressive blitzing sort of defense? I guess how you characterize what they're going to throw at you.
Well, I think they're going to throw a lot of different things at you, and I think they're pretty game plan specific, but they have their core principles. I think what makes them challenging is that they can throw a lot of different things at you, and you got to be ready to adjust to them.
When you think of their receivers, Metcalf and Lockett, but then and Njigba, Jackson Smith and Njigba, this guy's got like 900 yards. What's his style? What do you see as a receiver?
Yeah, he's a guy that we studied extensively coming out in the draft, and he's rounded into a pretty darn good receiver. And, I know DK's missed a few games, but he's gotten more opportunity, and you're seeing the production out there. So he's become a go-to guy for them.
Matt, you've never been a head coach and coached out there. How challenging of an environment is that from what you know? And then also it looks like there's a ton of rain, typical of Seattle in the forecast. Is there anything you can coach your guys up to?
No, I think, you just got to embrace the elements no matter where you're at. We've played in rain games, some sloppy weather games. Obviously, it's a little colder here than it is out there, but I've been a part of 3 teams that have played in Seattle. It's a great environment for football. Their fans do a great job, and they've got a reason to cheer. Their team's doing a great job. So it should be an electric environment. I think it's going to be important for us to make sure that we can control the things that we're totally in control of, and that's just our ability to prepare for a football game, a really good team. It's going to be a playoff type atmosphere, and we've got to make sure that we're just on top of all the little details in order for us to go out there and perform at a high level.
What do you think of Geno Smith as a quarterback?
I think Geno it's been a kind of remarkable turnaround for him in terms of just where he started, and it's not always where you start, but where you finish, and it tells me a lot about the person in terms of his resiliency and ability to fight through some adversity, and he's a dangerous quarterback. Obviously, he's one of the top passers in the league right now, and he can beat you with his legs as well if you give him the opportunity. I mean, we all saw the end of that San Francisco game at San Francisco earlier this year where he made a couple plays with his legs. I think he's got a lot of talented receivers and tight ends to throw to, and then you add in the two backs, and their offense is just it's improved throughout the course of the year, and he's a big reason for that, just his level to go out there and play consistent football.
He threw a bunch of interceptions to start the season. It seems like he's cleaned that up, though. What have you seen in that regard?
Yeah, he's doing a better job of taking care of the football. They're not turning it over as much, and obviously their offense is producing at a high clip right now.
How have you thought your run defense has performed the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think our run defense has done a really nice job, and it's going to be important in this game. Their back went off for like 190 total yards last week, like 150 on the ground. So, it's going to be a good challenge for us.
What was the difference again? Is his lateral quickness at an elite level as you see it?
Which one? Yeah, Charbonnet. Yeah, I think he's a big back that can really roll, and he's a multi-dimensional guy. He's another guy that we studied extensively and really liked coming out of the draft. But he was given more of an opportunity last week. So I think he's fully capable. They got two elite backs.
Was that the most physical you saw your run defense against Detroit? There's so many short yardage situations.
I wouldn't say the most physical, no. I just think that I think we've established a standard for how we play, and physicality is a part of that. If you want to be good in stopping the run, you better play physical. You better play with great fundamentals, pad level, leverage, using your hands. And we're going to have another great game in that regard in order for us to have success on Sunday.
Matt, your offensive line's been pretty darn good most of the year. What did you think of how they were on Thursday in Detroit, and how much are you challenging them, and are they challenging themselves?
I just think it was a tough environment. We got to do a better job of being able to get off on the snap count. I thought there was some instances where they were kind of jumping the cadence, and there's tools for that and mechanisms for that to try to alleviate some of that, because that is your advantage on offense. So I think it all starts there with your operation, and we got to be better in a lot of areas in that regard.
Carry over then to a potentially loud, even though outdoor environment this weekend.
Yeah, I think it'll be. I mean, this is traditionally it's been one of the toughest places to play.
Obviously, the standings are what they are. There's a chance for the division, not a great one. Likely going on the road in the playoffs, loud environments, facing what you faced last Thursday, and then this. How much does this set the stage and get you guys?
Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of ball left, and we got to handle our own business and take care of business. So, we're focused on this game, period. But I do think every opportunity for you to go on the road, I think, can harden you and make you better. And you got to be super dialed in all three phases, and that's why I was talking about the detail, because I think the detail is what separates. A lot of these games, especially late in the season when you're playing good football teams, are separated by a couple of plays, and you never know when those plays are going to show up. So you better make sure that you maximize those opportunities. You're on all your little details in order for you to be on top when that clock hits zero.
Hey, Matt, when you go through the injury report at the start, and I don't want to jinx you in any way, but you are starting to get healthy at a really important time. Obvious question, but what would that do for you if you can get all these pieces coming back here down the stretch?
Yeah, I think every team that can realize their potential needs to be as healthy as they can be, and footballs are a part of this business. So, I mean, it is what it is in terms of the next man up. But obviously, you want the guys that are your starters to be available, especially as you get closer to the end of the year.
Matt, what did it mean to see Kenny Clark be put up for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award?
Oh, well-deserved. I think Kenny has been just super consistent in everything he's done, both on the field and off the field, and obviously he does a lot for the community and in that regard. So it's a well-deserved honor, and one that I know it's a great honor for every guy that's nominated in this league. And, hopefully we can that will encourage some other guys to get more involved as well.
On the field with him, do you see him really peaking at the right time?
Who, Kenny? Yeah, I think Kenny's playing some really good football right now, and that's going to be pivotal for us moving forward. I mean, you need your best players to play their best in order for you to have the best chance of winning games, and I think that's what we're seeing from him.
With Alexander out, has that caused Keyshawn to do a little more heavy lifting? Have you put more on him?
Not necessarily. I wouldn't say it's more heavy lifting because it's just you're going to play what you're going to play. But I think what he's done is I think he's taken his game up another level in terms of every year he's a guy that's shown the ability and has gotten better and more consistent in his football in terms of him going out there and performing. So Key's a guy that we got a lot of confidence in, and he's shown the versatility to play not only inside but to go out on the outside, and not everybody can do that.
What do you generally see from Mike's defense? Influences from the Ravens? I know Leslie Frazier's a part of his set. What do you see from the Seahawks defense this year?
Well, I think that it's a great scheme. They can throw a lot of different coverages at you, a lot of different fronts, different looks, and then you combine that with really good players, then it can be a problem. So I think Mike's done an outstanding job, and I know Adam Durde is there as well. And AD, he's a guy that I've known for a long time. I worked with him in Atlanta. I got a lot of respect for in terms of how he gets those guys to play. You can definitely see their style of play on tape. They're going to run to the football. They're going to punch at the football and be violent in that process.
It's good. Should we dress extra warm for practice tomorrow?
You'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you. No, I think right now the plan is if it's that cold to probably open up the indoor and go indoors. Just because it's still, you got to have a productive practice. And seeing that we're going to be playing, I think it's going to be 40 degrees out there. So we're going to get it nice and chilled inside for you guys. All right? Thanks, guys. And you're welcome.